You were born powerful. And to be honest, you were born more powerful than you even know. But the problem is, we have been conditioned to and spend our whole lives giving our personal power away. Hi, I'm Tracy from the Money Boss Show, and I'm here to help you step into your personal power, make dream money, and live life on your terms. In today's episode, we're going to talk about some very powerful stuff, your personal power. We're going to talk about the 5 currencies of power that you have, whether you know it or not. We're going to talk about why we're conditioned to give our power away, even though it jeopardizes our happiness and financial success. We're going to talk about the 17 top ways we give power away. That's a lot, I know. Plus, stay to the end because I'm adding a bonus number 18. And in today's day and age, it is probably one of the most important and sneaky ways we give our personal power away. And then, of course, I'm going to wrap up the episode with stop giving your power away, and here's how. So, before we dive in, I just wanted to really, before I unpack like the meat and potatoes of this episode, I want to have like a bit of a heart to heart. You are powerful. You're more powerful than you ever have been taught. I'm going to go into why we don't know this, but here's the thing. You're on the Money Boss channel, and you'll be like, well, Tracy, why are you talking about personal power and not money? I want to make money. That is fantastic. Making money, the act of making money is probably the easiest thing of the money journey and the life journey. And you're like, oh, Tracy, I don't agree. Actually, at the basic fundamentals of making money is very easy. You give an hour of your time for a wage. If you want more money for your time, you need more skills. So you're worth more to an organization. Or the self-employed route. You sell a product or a service, somebody pays you. If you want more money, you sell more products or services. And then there's investments and that kind of stuff. But I'm talking actual us getting in the game and either being employed or self-employed. So here is the thing. The making money is the easiest part. Like I said, just get more skills, sell a product or service. That's really quite simple. But here's the not easy part. The becoming the person we need to be to get more skills or build a business. That is the not so easy part of the journey and the part that they hide from us so that we're disconnected from our personal power, from our intuition, from our dreams and following the cookie cutter system. They disconnect us from our power. And when you're setting out to make the most of yourself, make dream money, live life on your terms, it is all the personal power stuff that comes up and facilitates getting out of the system and making the money. So let's dive in. I want to talk about your 5 currencies, okay? These are your 5 powers that you have as an individual. And conveniently, just so you know, society, the system, is designed to rob you of your 5 personal powers. Why? Because I'll go into it. If you are robbed of your personal powers and you're powerless, you don't have the ability to rise above and start questioning the system, questioning the politicians, making the most of yourself, becoming financially powerful. All of these things that operate outside of the matrix, they want you disconnected from all your powers in the system, showing up to work, clocking in, clocking out, raising your hand, asking for permission, staying small, not realizing your greatness, just making enough to get by, and maybe a little bit of extras. But if you have extras, they have a plan to get rid of those extras from your bank account. Here is how they rob you of your 5 currencies of power. Your time. No matter how much money you have, you can make more money. And if you don't have enough, that doesn't always feel good because you're like, well, I'm trying to make a lot of money and it keeps on going and there's never enough. But money is a renewable resource when you know how to make money. Problem is, time isn't. Time is your number one personal power, personal currency, because you only get 24 hours in a day, whoever you are, however rich, poor, middle class, smart, dumb, brilliant, whoever you are, the playing field is equal. And the thing is, the people that are successful financially maximize their time. When we look at the making money scale, when you're going to work, you're going to get money for an hour. And no matter how much money you get, you're going to max out. So if you're an individual that wants to make dream money, just know that the work system is designed to just keep you in the system, breaking even. There's very few people that get wealthy from a job, just from their wage. So time is your number one currency. If you can maximize your time and make it work for you, that's how business owners start to make money. Money is the second currency. This is a reflection of the value that you provide to society. You give an hour of your time to your employer, they give you money back. If you provide a higher level service to your company that makes them more money, you get a higher wage. That's how the wage game works. The employment game, like I said, you sell a product and service, and based on how much somebody wants your product or service and how well you market and all those things, you get money back in the scale of service and value that you provide. Energy. Here's the thing, this coincides right with your time. Time and energy are the same. We have 24 hours. Within those 24 hours, we need to work and sleep, and we need to rest. So the way the rat race works, and you'll probably know, if you're stuck, you go to work, you wake up really early. If you have kids, you gotta get them off to school or daycare. You get to work, you hustle, you get home, pick up the kids, make supper, cart them off to sports. I'm not sure the demographic here listening, but if you have kids, that adds a time requirement, takes energy. You cook, you clean, and by the time you know it, you're tired. Maybe you get some time to sit down and open your phone and mindlessly scroll social media, but your energy is gone. And your energy is what gives you the energy to actually improve your circumstances in life. Okay? So time, money, energy, your focus. Your focus is also key. I can't even say one of these are more important because all 5 go hand in hand. Your focus. This world is designed to rob you of every ounce of focus that you could possibly summon to focus on a business, to focus on improving your skills and mindset and value. Hey, guess what? I got to go to social media because I just got a Facebook notification that somebody liked this. I am so tired from work. I'm just going to scroll. You know what? My friends want to go to the Blue Jays game that's on. My friends want to go shopping. They want to go to the nightclub. My kids need to go to sports. Hey, guess what? There's a war going on. Race wars, gender wars, real wars, all of these wars. Right? The world with social media, with our day-to-day requirements, with news, with family, friends, community, It is designed to literally scramble our brains and make us lose focus. Because here's the thing, if you want to make good money and build life on your terms, you need focus. And your focus needs focus because you literally need to hone in and tune out all those distractions. But no, guess what? There's a World Series coming up that needs your attention. And there's sports pools and nights out and concerts. And not only is that robbing you of your time, your money, your energy, it's robbing you of your focus. Because guess what? If you want to improve your life, which I assume you do if you're here, you can only focus on one thing at one time. So if we look at focusing on negative, if you're focused on the news and everything bad on social media, your brain can only take in negative. You can't think negative and positive at once. You just can't do it. That's why they say focus with gratitude, because you can only focus on one thing. Now, let's bring this right back to you. You want to build your dream life. You need a focus like your life depends on it, because it does. What does that mean? Well, if you have 1 hour every evening, that's it. You put the kids to bed and you're like, I hate this job. I know I'm meant for more. I'm smart. I can do this. What is going to get your focus? The easy scroll because you're tired and you don't feel like it? You never will. Or are you going to go, no, phone, I'm going to put you in a drawer. I'm going to shut you off. I'm going to put you in my purse. I am sitting down on my computer, and for tonight, I'm focusing on how to make money. I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm building a budget. That 24 hours, your 24 hours, of course, is important. But let's say you have 1 hour every night. Your focus of that hour every night will determine what your life is going forward. If you waste that on Netflix, yeah, that feels good. And you get a high and it's fun and exciting, designed that way. But guess what? The instant gratification means you're not building your life. If you sit down and do the hard stuff now, you get to build your dream life, and then you get the reward of that. So your focus at any given time, what are you focused on? And love. This is not the Love Boss channel, but the most beautiful, highest vibration currency. And it's funny that I talk about this because I'm a hard driving entrepreneur. But I know when you're in fear, when you're in scarcity, when you're in lack, when you're in anger, when you're looking out and so upset about everything that's going on in the world, or even in your life or with your kids, if you are in a state of anger, that's a low vibration. Then you also attract that, and you don't feel good, you don't do good, you don't create good. You got to bring it up to love. And I'll give you a spoiler alert. The last couple years, well, I know I need to bring up my vibration when I deal with clients for sales and doing these videos, because, it's hard times now. Who wants to listen to that video, right? Like, I need to bring up my vibration. But I'm going to say the last 5 years, it has become psychological warfare. And even the toughest minds, I prided myself on how strong I am mentally. I've built businesses for 17 years. The last 5 years, I have been struggling with the vibration because it is coming faster, harder, more chaotic, more sad, a lot of stuff out there. It's negative. So if we want to be successful, we need to just tune all of that out and stay in the vibration of love and creation, right? If we're building a business because we want to help couples not divorce, you could focus on the angry part of that because maybe you divorced, and had you known something, you wouldn't have got divorced. You could be in the angry vibration of that, but that won't convert to sales. That won't go through to your audience. You got to be in the love of relationships, the love of love, the vibration. And if you're looking and focusing on all the divorces as a divorce coach, that ain't good. You got to be in a love vibration. So those are your 5 currencies of power. And you got to guard those like they're gold, literally, because that is your gold. That is what you take. And if you're an alchemist of energy and time and vibration, you're going to take those currencies and alchemize them into money and a beautiful life. If you're not managing your 5 currencies, everybody else will. Your kids will, and yes, I get that kids are kids, but your husband will, your friends will, your family will. Everybody will take control of your 5 currencies if you don't. I'll talk about at the end how to keep control of those because that is key. But being aware that you have these 5 currencies, and that's what builds your life, good or bad. So, number 2, why do we give our personal power away? Well, one, we don't even know about it, but we are conditioned by the good old school system to obey and not question. All of society is set up in a very structured manner to take you from a child through the school system into post-secondary, into the workforce. The school system is there to train obedient workers. People don't like that. And you can argue for the positive. I mean, that makes an orderly society. If we were all crazy, that would be like chaos. So you could probably argue that the school system is great. It gets us into jobs. If we're in North America, we get an income. We can take care of ourselves. We socialize. We're under a roof and protected. But if you want to be outside of the matrix, the job system that keeps you just breaking even, the school system is what you're going to have to uncondition because what makes good employees makes terrible business owners. So school taught us to obey. And from a very young age, we're looking at our parents, our grandparents, older siblings. We're looking at teachers and going, yes, adult God, tell me what I need to know. And that's great because our adults are supposed to teach us and take care of us. Some get better adults in our life than others. We have different experiences, but from 0 to 7, we are programmed through and through. 98% of our thinking and beliefs and operating system is formed by the time we're 7. And then from 7 to wherever you are in age, you've spent the rest of that time operating based on the conditioning of your family and the school system. So the school system teaches you to obey authority, wait for permission, wait for answers, operate, be fair, just know your place. Don't make a mistake because heaven forbid you make a mistake and your schoolmates shame you. All of that, while seemingly very innocent and structured for a great society, makes for somebody that wants to get out of the system that very quickly gets paralyzed. Because we're not taught to embody, walk into the skill sets that are required as an entrepreneur with the school system. We're taught to obey, not question. Society, just like I said, it is very much structured to reward conformity, not sovereignty. They don't want you to be free. They want you to work in the cookie cutter system, know your place, obey authority, and be structured so we can have a structured civilization. Again, makes sense. But if you are like, hey, no, I only get this one life that we know of, and I just want to be a business owner. I want to be in charge of my own life. Like, I want to make more money. You're not going to get that in society. As a matter of fact, you are actually going to get a society, friends, family, teachers, siblings that are just going to just react with fear and chaos if you try to shake up the system and do your own thing. The final point on how we are taught to give our power away is we are taught that the systems, as I've alluded to, are God. They're who we look to, and they're more important than our intuition. Intuition, what is that? Heck, I I call it gut feeling. That feeling. You know when you're doing something wrong and you just get that feeling? That's your intuition. Or if you get a vibe about a person, or if you're like, oh, yeah, maybe I should take that job, but you're like, ooh, something feels wrong. That's your intuition. But we're trained in logic and to trust others more than that feeling. And that feeling is literally more powerful than all our other senses once we know. There's been times, many times, like I had a good gut feeling from a young age. But when I started hiring people to scale up my media company, I think about 2018, I lived in a small city and I needed very specialized jobs, cold calling, sales, very hard. And the candidate pool, very small city, so it was very small. So I didn't have that many applicants. And out of that, then I got one that was passable, two that was passable, brought them in. I interviewed them. And I remember one in particular checks all the boxes, but I had massive red flags. And at that point, I had a bit of pressure to get a seat, a bum in the seat, as they call it. And I ignored my intuition several times in hiring because I needed to scale up the company, pressures to grow. And man, did I pay because every single time I had red flags, and they were red flags. They weren't just like, oh, Tracy, doubt. It was like, oh my goodness, my gut feeling. I didn't doubt it much, but I wasn't good at hiring. So I doubted myself. I hired them and take out 20 red flags. Oh my goodness. Then I spent a lot of time cleaning up that mess. We are disconnected from our intuition by logic, by experts, by the system, by everybody that we trust more than we trust our own senses. Now that's changing. There's a lot of spiritual channels and a lot of stuff about energy. But even when I started business, the secret was like the advancement of the world. Holy smokes, that's like 20 plus years ago. We've come a long way. So intuition and energy, that's commonplace. But we are still not taught it in school. And by the time we can have time to learn about that, we might be later in life. So I want to slowly introduce you to your internal guidance system. And you're going to learn and you're going to make mistakes. And that's an important part. Like me, I thought I wasn't good at hiring. I was new to this. So I'm like, oh, Tracy, like ignore that gut. Guess what? I didn't doubt my gut in any like gut feeling. Some people feel it in their head, some in their heart. I feel it in my gut. I didn't I didn't doubt my gut in any other areas, but because I was new to hiring people, I doubted myself. I went against my intuition, my knowing, and then I learned the lesson. And then coming out of that, I'm like, oh, okay, your internal guidance system, Tracy, it knew. Just because on paper they checked the boxes and there was pressure, and then you're like, it'll work out, just go. We have an internal guidance system. And that is one of the most important parts of this whole episode. The biggest thing with personal power is becoming the boss of you, the CEO of your life, the captain of your ship, the master of your destiny. And you'll be like, Tracy, I'm a full grown adult. I have a house, I have kids, I have a wife, I have a husband. I am. But guess what? I know a lot of adults that are still asking their mom or dad or friends for opinions on what to do with their life. And we'll go into the 17 ways and peoples and situations we give away personal power. But If you are outsourcing your thinking, your intuition, you are headed for consequences, right? One, it's not going to be an answer for you because it's from somebody else. Two, it might be dangerous to you mentally or physically or financially. We're not taught to totally disconnect because we are very much a community, pack, herd based society. Our family is our tribe. So we respect mom and dad and we ask them for opinions. But the problem is, are they qualified to give you an opinion on what you're asking? Just because they're your mom and dad doesn't mean they know everything. Number two, they're going to be thinking, reacting based on all their trauma and baggage and desires and wants, not what's best for you, because only you know that. So the top of this episode is I'm going to hand you a card. I wish they did this at graduation. I guess they do the diploma, but they don't quite tell you as much. We know life is on us, but it's not nuanced enough. Sure, we're going to move out and go to university and start our lives, but I wish we could hand somebody a card and say, you, it is you. Connect with your intuition, build your vision, make your own decisions. We're outsourcing our thinking and our happiness. And also, very often, we'll ask a spouse or we'll ask a friend about a business that we're thinking about doing. It's not their idea, not their vision. They're going to react on their limited knowledge and their fear and maybe even verbal diarrhea. Or based on the fact that they want you to come out to the bar every Friday night and you just told them that Friday is going to be when you start working on your business. This card I hand to you, pretend I have a card for you. That card says it is you and only you can plan your life and take care of you. Let's get into the 17 ways, situations, people we give our personal power away to. Please stick with me because some of these lessons are life-changing, life-saving, money-creating, and will literally just put you onto the path of your highest calling of building your dream life. And I know there's so much distraction. Netflix, you want to go, you want to scroll, but please, this stuff is so critical. Your family, number one, I've alluded to it already. We are conditioned by our family. So they build our operating system. The way we see the world, even as an adult, is pretty much based on our family that we grew up with, 0 to 7 years old. And because we're a tribe-based society, we want to make others happy. We want others to approve of us. So we spend a lot of time trying to please or gain approval instead of honoring our truth. And you see that in ways where people follow their parents. Let's say it's a family business of being a lawyer, and it's made clear or quietly clear that you're expected to step up and carry on that tradition. But that's not what you want to do. You hate it, but you go to law school. Then you're like, I hate it. And then maybe you actually do the job and you hate it. Maybe eventually you quit, thank goodness, and do something else. Some people spend their whole lives trying to please others, well, betraying themselves. We each have a divine gift, talent, calling, and baggage that we need to overcome. And we don't find that by seeking approval, trying to please others. This journey is you, honey. It is you. But we often think of this journey. Of course, we have spouses and kids and parents and friends. They're on the journey with us, but they're not driving the ship of our soul and our destiny. And the problem is, most of us are like, hey guys, what do you think I should do with my life? Should I start this business? And it's group consensus on your life. Hey, do you guys think I should get this medical treatment? Group consensus. Do you guys think I should just buy this new house or beach? And then they all say yeah because they want to go to your cabin. And then meanwhile, you couldn't afford it. But they say yes, and you think they're saying yes because you think that you can now afford it. Whatever. So much. Blinders on. Life is a you game. And depending on your personality, I'll name that. For some of us, that's easier done than others. And then that's part of your journey because it'll be harder. Some personalities want to people please more. Some are more community oriented. Some are more lone wolf. That's your journey. Family, the number one way we give our power away. Just staying in the conditioning we were raised and then continuing to operate like a family group and letting others dictate what happens in your life. Friends and community, building right on that. We are really a byproduct of who we're around, and we seek belonging, acceptance, and often we'll dim our own light and go along with things that aren't good for us today or tomorrow. It takes a lot of courage and strength to like pull yourself out. If you're listening to podcasts, I'm doing like a pull up. How many of us can actually do pull ups in a gym? I sure as heck can't. But when we're looking at pulling ourselves out of the system and becoming powerful and independent and making dream money and chasing our dreams, life is like a pull up. Because here's the thing, the people that are around you are going to want to keep you safe, air quotes, based on their desires, wants, bias, goals, and their true desire to keep you safe based on what's in their head. And maybe sometimes they look at you and get jealous. I remember a person that I was coaching with, and they wanted to chase their dreams. And people said horrible things to them, stopped them from trying to build their business. Why? What's going on in that person's head? It's not a reflection of you and your opportunity and your dreams. Maybe they tried to build a business and they failed. Maybe they want to and they don't have the courage. Sometimes friends, community, family, coworkers, they want us to stay put because it's comfortable. And then it also doesn't make them uncomfortable or shine a light on their inability to pursue their dreams. There is a quote about crabs in a bucket. And this is a real thing. If you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, if one tries to crawl out, the others will grab it and pull it in. Real. This is real. So often when I have come up into conversations, I don't speak much about what I do anymore. It doesn't matter. I'm just like, I'm a business person. I'm an adult. I'm the CEO. I'm not looking outside. I'm not telling or asking. I'm beyond that point, but it takes a lot of time to get there. When I was younger, I'd mention what I was doing, and then you get feedback and they try and throw you off. And then thankfully, maybe I listened and then I'm like, oh, shoot, that was wrong. Oh, shoot, they probably said that because of fear. And then I stopped listening. Crabs in a bucket. Not everybody wants you to be successful. It's on you to just put the blinders on and be the captain of your ship. Family, friends, and community, church and religion, outsourcing your spiritual authority. I'll be delicate on this one because this is a very delicate subject. In the past, it was very structured. You had to go to church, listen to the minister, priest, pastor to get your connection with God. And that's beautiful. And a lot of people find that and it's healthy. And maybe that's their soul source. But now with spirituality and greater understanding, many of us know that we are connected to God. He is source, whatever you call God. I don't care about the details. This is not the religion boss channel. Put your name in there. Universe, source, God, Allah, whatever it is. You can connect because we are connected to the greater power. We don't need to go to a church. It can be helpful, it can facilitate us, but we can also pray, meditate, be quiet, connect with source on our own. So, church and religion in the past has been used to control people, where now a lot of individuals realize that in addition to church, we can also connect to our spiritual authority. We don't need a third party in the middle there, right? We can connect right to our source. And again, if you enjoy church, beautiful. Community, connection, words, like there's so much beauty in that. But also knowing you have a direct connection to your higher power. And all you need to do is connect to stay in touch with your spiritual authority. Schooling. Everything I said already, but one thing, believing your grades define your intelligence. Huge programming, fear of failure, and conformity. I touched on all those, but one, if you were bad in school, what did that do? That programmed you that you were stupid. Pardon, I hate saying those words, but you were dumb. How silly is that? And maybe it was only one test, and then you went home and a parent or a grandparent said something silly. Some of our most debilitating insecurities and fears and conditioning are still running from when we were kids. I was bad in math, and a few situations happened where people mocked me because of my bad math grades. My brain just didn't work that way. I didn't care. I don't know. We're not all good at everything. I thought I was stupid at math. Guess what? I own national media companies operating against giants, media giants. I've made a lot of money. I can math better than any of the mathers in university. That's the real math. And I took on a mental sentence, a prison from teachers and family members that said I was dumb at math. And I carried that through and I carried that through until I sat down in business. I passed my math, got into university, but I still carried it through. Then I had to sit down and read financials when I started a business. I was scared because I was dumb in math. And then I realized that, well, all these other people learn and I can learn. So why don't I learn? So I sat down and worked all the numbers on the income and expense sheet, the liabilities, the assets. I'm like, wait a minute, math is easy. All that stuff they taught us in school, I call it filler. Don't tell anybody. I don't even think anybody needs that anymore. And the professions that actually do use computers, they don't do the brain math anymore. So they just wanted us having filler subjects to make us think that we were actually getting smart, when meanwhile, if they could have taught us basic budgeting, interest, investment, we would have actually been smart. But neither here nor there. I took on that conditioning from those teachers and those individuals that I was dumb at math. I finally decided that I was going to figure it out. I overcame that. But I challenge you, and this is, you're over there in your own home or your car, wherever you are. Is there a conditioning? And it's going to come to you quick. Did somebody say something when you were young and you're still holding it? Release that, because your freedom relies on that. Release it. Who was that person? What do they know? Is it even accurate? Maybe it was one test you failed and all the rest you passed, but you focused on the negative because we have a negative bias. I'm pausing here because I just want you to take that in. What are you holding that isn't yours? You're not dumb. You're not going to amount to anything. You're not a failure. You're not mean. You're not um, airheaded. You're not clumsy. Whatever was said in the past, realize that was verbal diarrhea from somebody, goodness knows based on what. And if it was accurate, it was accurate for that moment, that test, that class, high school. Who cares? Your success as an adult has nothing to do with elementary, high school, or quite frankly, university, unless you needed to be a lawyer to get in to be a lawyer. But even at that, you could start your own business and be a billionaire without even graduating from high school. We got a question, right? You are so powerful. Do the digging and release any harmful thing that was said to you, because that'll be the magic in freeing yourself up. Schooling, teachers, and mentors. I just touched on that. We're putting them on a pedestal, we're conditioned. Teacher, God, fill my information. Tell me what to do. Tell me what I need to know. Tell me what book to read. Tell me what to memorize instead of thinking, forming opinions. I know some classes do critical thinking now, but it's very dangerous, beautiful and dangerous, the school system. Family units, because as kids, we're in the theta state from 0 to 7. That's hypnosis. That means our brain is wide open. It has to be that way. How many rules and nuances and beliefs and ways of acting and religion and thoughts did we need to learn to fit into our family, our community, our church, our school system, our race, our gender? Wow. Our brain was wide open, 0 to 7 years old. So we can go, Goddess adults, God adults, tell me what I need to know to be able to fit in and survive here. Crazy, eh? We were designed to take in. And then after that, we go through many more years of a school system telling us what we need to know, thinking for us, telling us what to think, so that we don't become the masters of our mind. Who experts right along the lines of teachers. The system is set up, the white collar, the blue collar. And it's changed. It's changing. But when I was younger, the doctors, and still, I am outside of this, but the doctors, the lawyers, the teachers, they were gods. That was the premium elite of society. But guess what? Over my 43 years, I've had a lot of run-ins with teachers that ain't so nice, ain't so smart. I've had a lot. And then, of course, let's go to the opposite. The beautiful ones that want to mold and teach and do great things and care and nurture. Always the positive. But here I focus on what could be holding you up. It's not the positive. It's always the negative. Lawyers. I wanted to be a lawyer briefly. Then I had a situation. I sold advertising to a lawyer, sat down in his office, and at that point I was new to starting my media company, so fairly young professional, and I still thought lawyers were gods. Not even like human. They were like a human 2.0. I sat down and I listened to this guy, and we talked business, talked lawyer, talked advertising, talked agriculture, spoke, and then chatted a bit of personal. And man, he let out that he was a human. And I'm like, oh, he let out that he wasn't even as smart as I thought he was. Was he really human 2.0? And then doctors. I started going to doctors. Internet came out and I started researching like food and health and the effects of nutrition as a basis for health versus medication. And then I'd listen to the doctors. I'm like, that doesn't feel right. That intuition says, no, that cream isn't going to work. Maybe I should just stop eating what seems to be annoying my system, and it would stop creating the dry skin that I was getting. Personal, but hey, learnings. Then I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, well, they're telling me this and this is brand new and not well studied, I'm going to think for myself. And then I ran into doctors that, quite frankly, messed up, forgot to call several people I know, different situations, with test results. One of them died. One of them, had they not followed up, could have ended up in the same boat. So, what did I learn? The experts are experts, but don't forget, they are always selling us something. They have an ulterior motive. They only have a certain knowledge set. What is their bias? What is their agenda in their interaction with me? For many people, based on youth or personality, this is an uncomfortable conversation. What does our mom or dad or friend or husband want us to be doing? The opinions they're giving are from their knowledge, their insecurities, their fears, their belief, but also their agenda on what will benefit them in conjunction to what you're deciding. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I'm here to make you personally powerful. And those are the things people don't learn until it's sometimes too late. When we get wisdom, when we get age, when we get sick, when we make a bad decision, when we've lived our life out and said, I was a lawyer and I hated it and all I wanted to do was, and I'm on my deathbed. Yeah. I don't want that for you. It ain't going to be me. I don't want that for you. Here's another thing on experts. In the business world, everybody's an expert. I have a company I work with closely. They do some technical skills for me. I'll leave it that vague. And I decided to consult with them because I was a young entrepreneur and they were a big company and they were so smart and they wanted to sell me consulting, of course, to make money. And seen as they were this big company, of course, I gave away my personal power. I thought they were so smart. Not gave it away. Hold on. So I sat down with them and they ran me through what my business plan should be in a boardroom. Men or women, that doesn't even matter, older than me, very firm and confident in their convictions. They told me I have two revenue sources in my media company at that point. The big one, the little one. What our website was designed for, and what we really grew as an opportunity. I was chasing the big one, the big bucks. I knew, and they probably also knew, the money over here, smaller dollars, bigger dollars, hot, hard sales, lots of people to make lots of money. So I kind of had this feeling, and I was the one selling, and I knew based on action and practice and doing and gut and numbers. I knew, but I was young, and these were big business consultants. So they told me I just need to put that aside and specialize on what our website was meant to do. Good thing I don't listen to people, right? And used my intellect and my intuition. I'd be bankrupt. No joke, guys. I'd be bankrupt. And I wouldn't own my media companies. We would have been bankrupt because there was big dollars here. And I chased the high of that and made millions with this opportunity. Here, I would have made a fraction. We would have been bankrupt. So there's your experts. And how many times did I have university graduates, no offense, want to consult? They had these nice proposals that sound good. They were in the area I wanted more information on. I thought they knew more than I did. They've never run a business. I'd listen to them. I'm like, they don't have a hot clue. If I didn't use my critical thinking, I wouldn't be here today. I would be back in a job because the company that I was running would have been bankrupt. I would have hopefully navigated and been able to turn the ship. But if I had blindly trusted those business experts that had a big business, fancy names, good authority, I would have been bankrupt. Wouldn't be here as the money boss, guys. I'd be the one trying to figure it out still. Anyways, experts. What are they experts at? What do they know? What's their agenda? Is it right for you? Do your own research. News. I'm not going to touch on that one. That is fear. If it bleeds, it leads. It's designed to bring chaos into your eyeballs, into your ears, cause fear in your heart, paralysis in your body, personal power gone, and your personal power, dream, money, and life robbed. Because if you are focused on the negative, it's bad times, it's scary, people are going broke. It's a horrible time to start a business. If you look to the outside, and especially the news or social media, it's designed to paralyze you. And that's exactly what they want you to feel. So you don't get personally powerful. So you don't make a lot of money. So you don't break out of the system. Because if everybody did, whew, those politicians might lose their fancy little wages and all the money that they waste that we pay them. Wouldn't be great times for politicians if we actually had time, money, and personal power to get out of the system and question and hold them accountable. No, they want us on the hamster wheel, too busy, broke, tired to even question what's going on with our money. Social media, news, social media, same thing. That's designed to cause fear, distract you, rob you of your 5 currencies, and just disconnect you. Movies, entertainment, same thing. They want you focused on leisure rather than building your dream job or getting more skills. But just the same as news, social media, movies also have a beautiful, beautiful air quotes for those listening to podcasts, a beautiful role in conditioning you to hate wealthy people. Look at every single movie. The villain of the movie, is he rich or poor? He's rich. Batman, the Titanic, every single movie. Notice the plot line. They want you conditioned to hate rich people, to hate money, to resent the very fact that people have more than you do. Why? Because if you hate it, you resent it, and it's not acceptable, you don't want it, you don't go after it, and then you stay small. In addition to all that poverty programming, they are also conditioning you with alcohol, caffeine, consumerism, and also programming you to accept events that come in the future as well. That is all part of the news, social media, movie, and entertainment industry. Poverty programming is everything that I'm talking about. Number 10, leisure. They want you spending all your spare time, your focus, your energy, and your money on sports games, concerts, malls, because a lot of these companies are owned by all the same people. And if you are leisuring, going into the next one, 11 and 12, leisure and shopping. If you're leisure and shopping, you're wasting your time where you could become powerful and learn how to make money and be the boss of your life. No, you're wasting your time and you're spending your money and you're getting in debt. And then you got to work harder and then you're more stressed and then you have no energy. Then you have no time to focus. It is a vicious cycle, carefully designed. Sounds so negative. It's beautiful. You can leisure and shop. But here's the thing, most people are living paycheck to paycheck. So if that's on the essentials, do you have money to leisure and shop? Most people don't. So they're going into debt, and then that debt becomes like a ball and chain, right? 11 and 12, leisure and shopping, celebrities and stars, the people we look up to in the movies. They used to be more prominent, I think, or maybe I'm just so far out of it. With social media and Netflix, it just seems a little bit different, but they want you living your hero's journey through celebrities and stars. And I'm going to loop in the next one, video games. I'll touch on that in a second. If you love this actor and you're always watching them in movies or any movie, you have a hero, you have a villain, pardon me, you have a story. If you watch a movie, it's carefully crafted to give you a certain plot line, a certain result, a certain like fear and then journey and then dopamine hit when it ends well, when the underdog wins. But here's the thing, if we're spending all our time being in the journey of a movie actress and wasting all our time, we're letting those celebrities and stars be the hero of our life versus us being the hero of our journey. We're on a life journey. And if we are not focused and not running our ship, we're letting other things drive our future. And celebrities and stars and movies and TV shows, we then start to live our life through these shows versus actually taking control and living our life. Do you get what I mean? The hero in the movie, we become and feel like the hero for that 2 hours and we get the hit. And then we watch the next movie and we forget to shut the movies off and build our own life. Crazy, isn't it? Video games. One of the biggest ways they say that men are failing and why they love video games is because they can finally be the hero of their journey. We're all meant to do a hero's journey. This is a book. There's a book out there, Joseph Campbell, and it's a popular thing for entrepreneurs. You're on a hero's journey, but most of us don't know it. Most of us are a victim to our life and society. Instead of shutting everything off and going, wait a minute, I'm going to be the main character. I'm going to have main character energy in my life. I'm going to shut that all off. I'm going to build my skills. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to get money. I'm going to go on trips. I'm going to be the hero. They help us bypass all that hard work, satisfaction, actually being the hero in our journey by letting us get into the eyes and mind and heart of characters on screen, video games, right? We play a video game at the end of a hard day. It's relaxing. Nobody's nagging, nobody's doing anything. They say this is a big thing for men because men more, I think they say men more than women need that hero journey, that provider, that winner energy. Guys, young boys, young men are becoming the hero of their story through video games. It's that quick fix. You win a level, you kill a character. Instead of winning a level, don't kill people in real life, but conquering that boss, conquering that obstacle in real life. We fail to do it in our real life because we're busy doing it with our video games. Isn't that mind-blowing? Same can be said for TV, movies, video games, celebrity worship culture, books, even the good thing of self-help and training. If you go too far in that, you can just consume and not actually do. We need to be the creator, the hero, the main player energy in our life. Mind-blowing, isn't it? 13 and 14, celebrities and stars, video games, our boss in our workplace. The workplace, like I said, you get stuck, you're trading time for money, you're going to max out, you're never going to do better unless you get a wage promotion or a dramatic increase in your skills and go into something like sales. You get stuck. And very often, we get out of university, we get into a job, we improve, maybe we take some more courses, we start to think about our bosses and our company as our be all, as our source of financial being. When we forget, it is us. We are the CEO of our life showing up to a job or our company. If you think of yourself as your CEO and you need to be the smartest, wisest, pardon me, healthiest, well-dressed, what would the CEO of your life look like? I'm pausing. When I took on CEO energy of my life, I realized, oh my God, if I'm CEO of Tracy Inc., I got to be the smartest, well dressed, well read, motivated, disciplined person. Because who else is driving the ship? There's nobody running my life and helping me out. For realsy, you have a spouse or parents that can come in, but then you're just fake doing it, right? Then you're relying on somebody else, outsourcing your power, earning potential, your dreams. Your boss, your workplace is not your security. It's you. You're the CEO. Whether you're in a company of your own or an employee, you're the CEO of your life. Become the best CEO. And no matter what happens with the workplace, a coworker, a boss, you're going to be okay because you're making sure you're the best. You're educated, you're always improving, you're keen. And then that's the basis of an advancing man or woman in the workplace. Your spouse, your partners. We've chatted on that throughout. We have goals in a partnership, but depending on our partnership, maybe our personalities, sometimes we push our dreams to the side for the benefit of kids, yes. Maybe for the benefit of your spouse's dream. Maybe it's going to take your guys' money to get them through school. But some people just sacrifice their dreams, their goals, their desires, their love, the things they want to do because their partner doesn't agree. Your partner ain't the boss of your life. Yikes. Mm. Some people are going to have a hard time with that. They are a co-partner in a relationship, but there's only the CEO of your life. They're the CEO of their life. You come together as two individuals to build a life together, to provide for your house, your groceries, your lifestyle, your kids. But sometimes when we get into a relationship, we lose ourselves in the big picture. Mums, we lose ourselves because we have kids and then we want to provide for them. So we put our dreams on the back burner. And then we get resentful. And then you hear of mums that hate their kids or hate being a mother because they had to sacrifice everything. They always say, fill your cup up as a mom or dad. Chase your dreams, make some time, learn. The happier you are in a relationship and as a person, the happier and better of a spouse and a parent you're going to be, right? Spouses and partners, 16, 17. How do we give our power away above all those things? We just get lazy, mentally and physically. The doubt, the fear, the uncertainty, the lack of motivation, the I'm not ready, it's not a good time, I don't have money. Those are all excuses and they're always going to be there. They feel real, but if you want what you want more than you want your excuses, you'll find a way to make it happen. Unfortunately, in this day and age, building a side hustle, building a dream is cheaper than ever. To start my media company, this was back 17 years ago. The website that I have costs a lot of money. There wasn't free advertising. Not everybody had the platforms of TikTok, of Facebook, of Twitter, of X, of YouTube, of podcasts. Like running a business was for the elite, the people with money. Now you need next to nothing. And grit and passion and talent and motivation and discipline and all those things, and you can do well for yourself. One of the biggest ways we give away our personal power and sabotage our dreams, our dream money, and our dream life is mental and physical laziness. At the end of the day, it's all us. All these things outside of you that I just named are conditioning you, paralyzing you, giving you limiting beliefs. They all need to be overcome. But at the end of the day, it's you. It's only ever you that's going to make it happen. Bonus number 18, politics. Now more than ever, politics has become a sport, a team sport. Everybody needs an opinion. We are so focused. This is so by design, guys. I'm not going to go here. I don't have a team. I don't care. But ever since Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump got in the US, Don't flood me with political opinions because here's the thing. They say the right wing and the left wing are still part of the same bird. And whether some do better or not, here's the thing. At the end of the day, all that is designed, take it all away and see it for what it is. If you're focused on politics and you're angry at Trump or Biden or Justin or Carney or whoever your leader is, what are you doing with your time and your energy, your vibration, and your focus? You're allowing politics to rob you of your personal power. And one of the biggest ways people are losing their personal power right now is through politics more than ever. When I was younger, this wasn't a thing. Justin Trudeau came in, Donald Trump came in, and then politics literally became the new Hollywood. Everybody was interested from young to old. Everybody decided to fight about it. Everybody has a team. They need to give their opinion because we have the comment box society on social media. Politics next to you is going to be one of the things that's going to rob you of your personal power. Here's the thing, no matter whether it's blue or red, Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, whatever it is in your country, whoever's in charge, yeah, they may dictate flow, focus, policy, trade, some stuff that's coming up hot and heavy lately. But at the end of the day, there's millionaires and billionaires made under every single team color. The people that are out there knocking it out of the park and building businesses, taking control of their lives, they realize that the politicians are there. Policy does affect us. I would say now more than ever. We see it in my industry, agriculture. But here's the thing. Once you do your job and go and vote, it's over. If you sit there and just follow politics, that is no better than watching TV or Hollywood. Sorry, not sorry. Politics are the biggest way we're losing our personal power and focus and energy because we're so angry defending our fearless leader that we make that our mission. We just again gave up our hero's journey, didn't we? Because we love Trump. We love Biden. They're our hero. We forgot to make ourselves the hero in our story. So we stay tired, broke, scared, living paycheck to paycheck, just to give our opinion about politics. Yes, it does affect, but once you do your job, vote, shut it off, and get to work. Because every single thing, literally, I'll leave you with one of my analogies, and then we'll do some action. If you look at horse racing, they wear blinders all the time, every horse. Cups on the side of their head because horses have eyes on the side of their head. They put these blinders, cups on them, on a harness, so that they can't see what's going. Because the problem is if a horse is going that fast, they have a massively long neck. I was a horse owner. They have a massively long neck. If they could see to the side, they would look to see if there's horses coming up because they're competing. They would look, and their long neck and that distraction actually is what causes horses to trip, stumble, and I'll leave the rest of that off. That is why they put blinders. So the horse focuses on running its race. It can't see what's going on. It can't hear anything outside of itself, see anything. Just like you, put your blinders on. Don't pay attention to any of these 18 things I said. Put your blinders on, focus on your dream, and go. That is the focus you need. Nobody's going to tell you this. Like hardcore from the trenches. This is the focus you need if you want to build your dream life. If not, just go watch Netflix. And again, the passion, the desire, the lesson, the burning fire, it ebbs and flows. If you fall off and get distracted, get back on. You're not 100% all the time. But if you want your dreams, you got to want it more than your excuses, your comfort, and tune these 18 things out. Part 4, how to stop giving your personal power away. Awareness. Which one of these 18, if not all, are you giving your personal power away? Some of you will be like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize any of these. I had to learn every single one of these. 43 years, and here I am. Boundaries. If you want your dreams, you got to protect your money, your time, your focus, your energy, and your love. So that might mean saying no to going to another concert that you can't afford because you don't want to get in debt, or you need that money, or you need the time. Energy. You only have so much energy. And if that 1 hour evening is what you have to build your business, and you're going to do this come hell or high water, pardon the language, you're going to have to protect that time and your energy. Reconnect to your intuition. If you've ignored it all your life, like we've all been taught, it's going to take some time to learn the lessons. If your guts, you're not used to listening to it, you might be like, oh yeah, I feel this. And then it wasn't right. And you're like, oh, actually, I kind of felt the intuition wasn't as strong. That is a learning game. Man, you make some mistakes, and they've tapped us right out of it. So we got to relearn that instinct, reprogramming your beliefs. Everything in this life is on you based on your thoughts and beliefs, feelings, actions, results, and where you go from there. Tuning these 18 things out, taking self-responsibility. Once you know that life is on you, by you, for you, possible by you, you get to tune out that programming and work. And you also get to stop blaming. Because here's the thing, as much as XYZ happened back there, XYZ is happening today. If you act like the victim, even though maybe this isn't your fault, if you claim radical responsibility, and I know there's horrible stuff, let's not go to the weeds or the horrible things that happen to people. I am sorry. But if you decide to be the CEO, the hero that rises above, that's what it's going to take to get out of it, to become the hero, to build your dream life. Because if you stay in victim energy, man, that's bad. And then you're giving your personal power away. My mom did, my dad did, this happened, the economy, Trump. Well, if it's all them dictating your life, then you have no power. But if you realize that it is actually all you, and it might be harder because of XYZ, any of these 18 things, but realizing that's the journey of becoming the hero of your story and leaving the victim behind. And the victim shows up, and then you go, hey, I don't like that. That happened, terrible to me, but I'm going to try and find a seed of something in there that might actually help me. And I'm going to carry forward as a hero that maybe I can help others with that same thing, the hero versus the victim. Again, protect your focus. Protect all 5 of those currencies: your time, your energy, your focus, your money, and your love. I almost forgot that 5th one. You got to guard those like it's gold, because when you can take those 5 currencies, you don't leak all your personal power. You don't engage in drama. You're not scattered. You then now bring your currencies in, and that gives you a focus, a personal power. It just leaves all that power and energy in you to focus in and achieve your dreams. You take those currencies and transmute them as the alchemist of your life into a mission, a vision, a business, and money in your dream life. You could take those same currencies, waste them all, be a hero and a victim to your circumstances, or you take those same energies, guard them like a chest of gold, and take them and transmute everything bad, everything distracting as the hero of your journey. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. Transmute all that craziness to say, I will succeed. Because if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. I hope this has been transformative to you. When you stop giving your power away, you become the author of your reality. the hero of your journey, not the victim. You stop living in reaction to all those things that are trying to steal your power, and you start living as the captain of your soul, the master of your destiny, the CEO of your life, the hero of your journey. And you have absolutely everything in you to do it. Just dig in, protect your personal power, those 5 currencies, and transmute it like the alchemist you are, to personal power, to dream money, to living life on your terms. If you enjoyed this, leave a comment, head over to the Money Boss Collective, join our community, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.